So ask yourself does this story really deserve it? And does it really, need it? And then also, if you're, one of the Sinclair stations, one of our 5 pillars are active live shots. So instead of seeing me here, maybe what you can do is get your tripod. Oops, I can't move because it's there. But move around. You can move around. You can do this. You can also use a tripod. Get a high thing. Go up here. Start here. Come in. Or you can try to do some kind of depth of field creatively, which is not really with your camera stick, either with a GoPro. You have to be creative. You have to create that point of difference in your story. And one of the mistakes that we producers and reporters make, we feel we have these long intros and it gives the anchors all the authority. You are the reporter, you are the MMJ, you've been out there, you know the story, so give your authority back to yourself. And throughout your story, you tell them what you've done, what you're going to do for them, and what you will continue to do.
Okay.
And you have to ask yourself, does the story need a stand-up?
Yeah. Kimberly, I actually had another question that you just mentioned right now. When you were telling me right now about, how there's like that anchor intro, and we always, at least in my station, I'm always, writing the anchor intro for what I want the anchors to say for my story. However, I sometimes struggle in the sense of, I feel that in the anchor intro, I say a little too much for the anchors, that
exactly
it's repetitive when it's time for my package. Or what's your suggestion in terms of, should we get straight to the point in terms of the anchor, or like what's your suggestion for that?
Limit your thought in the package. What is, you have to think of what is your demo sell? What is the reason why you're doing this story anyway? Limit to 1 or 2 sentences and get into it. And then what you want to do is give yourself, if you are live, you can be live as an MMJ, you can be live in the studio. What you want to do is bring yourself authority. You want to say, you know what, like say, I know this is crazy, but say you're doing a story on this piece of candy. I had to find something. So this is an example. This is your story, We went out and we went to the Nabisco, we asked them about it, but what we found inside will surprise you. Have a prop. What is that one line? And then have that, like I was just telling one of my reporters the other day, I was talking to a photographer, and I was telling them video sequence really matters because sometimes you have that golden nugget and you give it away at the beginning. So if I'm running a 5K, if I'm doing these things, you're seeing me here, but then once I back away, you see that I'm in a wheelchair. So one of the things that I really advise you to do, I actually just gave a chapter of this book to one of my reporters. It's called "It Takes More Than Good Looks to Succeed in Television." There's a chapter on stand-ups. If you can't buy it, inbox me or Stephanie. I'll send you the chapter. But it's a really great quick read about. It takes you back to Basics 101, things that you may have forgotten, and quick things that you can do as an MMJ. And always remember, when you're shooting by yourself, you have control of all the creativity. Don't just type medium wide. Get low. Get their feet. What is that one thing? Maybe if it's a criminal, get close on those shackles. Pan up, move, figure. Try to tell your story through video because you're creating an experience. Right now, video is everything on Facebook, everything on Twitter. If Beyonce moves, video is going to go up. So when your story comes on, you want to create an experience for them. An unforgettable experience, and they're going to remember that story.
Perfect. Thank you
Every
so much.
story won't have that moment, but most of them will. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate it, all the tips.
You're welcome. Don't hesitate to reach out. This is this experience that Stephanie has created for each of you is allowing you. I literally in a May book stepped away from my team, to help you guys. And she was gracious enough to allow me to come into her world and introduce me to her clients. So I want you to know that you always have to think about going to the next level. One other thing she was telling me about that I may have some producers on the call. Do we have producers?
Yes, I'm also a producer.
Okay, any other producers on here?
No.
Valerie has managed to get she's like a hybrid role right now. And she's producing and reporting. So it's been an interesting ride for her, going from a desk. I'm just going to give background, Valerie. Going from a desk in LA at KABC.
Oh, wow.
And she came through our program in LA, worked with a reporter out there. We went with her. Were you at NABJ in DC last year, Kimberly?
No, I was not.
You didn't go? So we were there with her. And then out of that, and I can't remember I don't remember the time, but she got this job in Nebraska. And so now she's doing both. And the question last week was, is that valuable that she has this hybrid, that she has this combined sort of experience or this like hybrid role?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely believe it is. Especially that she's an MMJ. You can shoot, write, and edit. And also produce. Don't bury that on your resume. Don't bury that in the conversation when you get in front of the news directors. That's definitely, it makes you more marketable. And by the way, before I hang up, I want everyone to know that I'm an at-large board member for RTDNA, and we're really excited. We're going to be in Anaheim this year, so
yes.
Check out RTDNA.
Listen, Kimberly, I'm just going to tell you this. You are, as shy as you pretend to be, you're not. And so I'm going to call your bluff there. And I'm sure if we were out in a social happy hour setting, you'd be even more fun.
No, I'm really quiet. You know what I get really passionate about, everyone, is to be able to help you.
So do I.
Those who haven't bailed out on me, I really appreciate it. I'm passionate because what we do every day matters.
Yep.
Let me tell you a story. So a man went missing on Sunday, and no one picked up the story. We were the only station that actually packaged it. He went missing, and he was found dead hours later after we did the story overnight. So anyway, and that was on Monday. Well, his family just walked into the station and said, you know what? Most stations, the whole market only did a VO. He said a little 30-second blurb on it. He said you kept it going through Sunday to Monday, and because of the story, they were able to find my father. So remember that every time you step in that newsroom and every time you're out on that story, ask those tough questions, dig deep, because what you do matters. And right now, journalism is under attack, our First Amendment, and we have to continue to help our community and be advocates.
I agree. And I'll speak for everybody on this call and just say what you've said tonight is beyond invaluable. And everything you've said about, in my opinion, social media is too. And we'll let you get back to it. But just know that we're incredibly grateful and we're on the same page. I mean, everybody knows me on this call and knows this is my mission, to just inspire people to keep going in this business, even though it feels hard sometimes. So thank you.
Oh, it definitely feels hard. But you know what, guys? I feel it too, because we're all learning. Even though 27 years, I still learn from my younger and older. And so let's just all push through. When it gets difficult, know that we're going to be stronger on the other side.
Yes.
And find that why you're doing the story and push through it.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll push a recap out.
Everybody, if you need anything, TV Leader, I'm there.
We'll find her on Twitter. And you can find her through our community too.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yay, I'm done. me. Tell me everything.
I'll send you the information. It was like she hunkered down for 2 days. We had to do it because we lived in LA and oh no! She's very into oh yeah? Oh yeah? Can I have a hug? Can I snuggle? Hello. Come. Come. 1, 2. Okay, so dinner over here in front of us. Great. What so tomorrow so let me see what your plans are. So like I said, my only comment I told you know, can I meet you guys? Madison Square Park is the best park. We'll have the best time.
Hold on.
So I just want to be